The opportunity that we have with the RSPO meeting being here in Paris this year is to bring more nuance to the debate, bring more information, and to start letting people understand that closing your eyes away from an issue doesn't mean that you're going to resolve it.
If you don't create awareness about sustainable palm oil, about shared responsibility, then we are not going anywhere.
We see great interest of the market into smallholder certification, and that is very important because 40% of the global production is smallholders. So we need to find ways to do it differently and scale it up so we're having more impact on those growers.
We cannot lose the people at the bottom, which are usually the indigenous communities, the forest dwellers, the farm holders, the smallholder farmers. We cannot lose them as it becomes the question about whose voice can be most amplified, and that is often determined by who's got power, and power is determined by who's got money.
We need to have a bit more of a heated debate. I think we need to be a bit more forceful to get people downstream to not only listen to us, but how can you help us communicate with the consumer and create that connection so that the efforts of the growers who become certified can be rewarded.
We have great hope now with the new PNCs because for once we will have at the same time the PNCs that apply to large growers. At the same time there's a standard for smallholders. That's the first time it happens. So there's great hope for change.
How are we going to get a comprehensive certification standard that everyone can agree with, that is actually both environmentally correct and has integrity, but is also socially fair for both the producing families and the producing countries?
Today we are seeing more demands for transparency in supply chains from on the environmental side and the labor side, and technology is a means to that end. So with mobile phones you can reach every worker in real time, and that's really a game changer because it's very difficult to actually know what is going on on plantations, and we help workers say what's going on, and we help buyers and other actors in the supply chain really get a much better sense of what's there.
And I would really like to us all, in terms of global acceptance, to get to the point where this is the standard that we recognize and is accepted, this is practical, so we don't have to debate about the standard itself so much anymore. I think that we are very close and we've done very well in this process, and I think that's why folks have come to the table more collaboratively this time.
2020 is indeed right ahead. It's 1 year away basically, but we also need to think about 2030. The SDGs have got a focus and an ambition towards 2030. The global story is very important, and it also brings the global story back onto the level of the producer countries. It also brings the global story onto the level of the whole supply chain.
We need to stimulate demand for sustainable palm oil because that is going to change how palm oil is produced and how palm oil is accepted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.